You may notice I use the phrase my beloved frequently. This is because I am in love with the world and everything in it. Hope this clears things up. Girl, help, the pessimists found me. Girl, help, I am staunchly refusing to realize my own naivete in a world almost completely made up of things that couldn't care less about me or are actively exploiting me. Why are you projecting onto me? Please just go to a therapist. Girl, help, the pessimists are mistaking an inherently meaningless universe for an inhumane and joyless one, rather than recognizing the opportunity to make one's own meaning and joy and to spread those things to others. Don't get sucked into the, if they really cared, I wouldn't have to say something spiral. No matter how close you are with someone, it's unfair to expect them to know things you haven't actually communicated. If they really cared, they would be telepathic, is a good way to reframe this thought to yourself and realize just how absurd it is. Cause that's what they'd have to do to be able to read your mind. Do you love anyone enough to have developed telepathy? No, cause that's impossible, and you're not allowed to feel bad about that either. No, if they really cared, I wouldn't have to say, and no, if I really cared, they wouldn't have to say either. Love is great. Clear communication is golden. If they wanted me to know, they would tell me. I shouldn't ask about it. If they cared about it, they would ask me. I shouldn't talk about it. Phenomenon I feel happens a lot. I hate the way social expectations about not being weird plays into both halves of this as well. I'm both of them also. Most of the notes were just like, this is why we should communicate better, and just say it. But I feel like this person elaborates a bit on the deeper root of this problem. Stop believing that you ran out of time to shape yourself into who you want to be. Stop believing that it's ruined. Stop believing you don't have potential. You are not a fixed being. You have endless opportunities to grow. Anytime I feel the grip of anxiety that I'm too old or don't have time to do something with my limited hours after work, I just remember the wisdom of the ancients. Ooh, I got plenty off time. It's only too late to change when you die. New rule. If you don't understand this, you're not allowed to write Superman. In a game with no consequences, why are you still playing the good side? Because being mean makes me feel bad. Because my no consequences power fantasy is being able to help everyone. I've never smashed the reblog button faster. If your Batman can't comfort a child, then he's not Batman. If your Clark isn't driven by an altruistic need to do good and has the will to do harm, he's probably not Clark Kent. One of the most life-changing things I ever learned came from Mythbusters, where they tested and proved, with cognitive testing puzzles and reaction time sets, that lying down and resting with the intention to sleep still provided significant mental benefits over just staying awake, even if a person couldn't fall asleep in the amount of time they had. It helps me to actually sleep to know that just lying down with my eyes closed is still doing me some good, and helps me to not freak out or beat myself up when I stay up later than intended. Any amount of rest is better than no rest. So if you didn't know that, now you do. Do you know that I think of this post every time I can't sleep, OP? What Mythbusters did for you, you have done for a great many others. And I hope this makes you guys feel better too, now that I've shown it to you. The key to overcoming your fears. You can never cross the ocean unless you're willing to lose sight of the shore. Similarly, we must have the courage to leave our comfort zone. No one is afraid of heights. They're afraid of the fall. No one is afraid to express love. They're afraid of the response. And no one is afraid of the dark. They're afraid of what lurks in it. Is he, open to interpretation? I read this as open to operation, and I was like, oh, we're dissecting him now. Initially read this as open for inspection, like a house for sale. Read this as penetration and was like, what a pretentious way to say bottoming. I thought this said open to impregnation, which, is he? Read this as open to operation and was like, oh, he's trans. Read this as open to penetration, which, hey, Nobody on this website can read? You know, maybe the he open to interpretation was the post itself, and he has been interpreted badly. Who is Linkin Park? One-shot KO by my younger coworker. Wow, it's almost like, in the end, it didn't even matter. I am going to unfold all of your clean laundry and leave it in a pile on your bed. It's like every step that I take is another mistake to you. Bestie, it's taking me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. Mutual posts that could easily get 10k notes. Do not. When you hear a new song on the radio and you're desperately trying to pick a notable phrase so you can Google it later, gather round, kids. Let me tell you a story from ye olden days, because I am Tumblr elderly. I used to DJ for a radio station. I played records and CDs, and we had station IDs from bands on 8-track carts. People would call me asking what songs were, but they had to mumble, sing, or play the song on an instrument. I had someone call me to ask what Smells Like Teen Spirit was when it was a single. They played it on an accordion. I forgot about it until a moment ago when I saw this post. They played it on an accordion? What does that even sound like? It's crazy how low self-worth fucks with people's lives. What will I be if I don't graduate, don't get a promotion, don't get my shit together, don't make this relationship work? You would be a perfectly normal human being who is inherently valuable and who possesses many talents and good traits. What if I fail even when I tried my very best? The world keeps turning, and you will find many other things you will succeed at. Daily reminder that we do not actually live in a dystopian movie. Put the apocalypse down and back away slowly. You know when you're cleaning a room and you pull everything out of its drawers to sort through and you're like, what the fuck have I done? I'm never going to be able to tidy all of this. I think that's the stage where we're at in the world. Thanks to social media, we've pulled out all the messed up shit from the cupboards of the world. It was always there, but now we can see it, and we're going to have to sort it all out. We made this mess, and we can fix it. Falling to the floor sobbing will not clean a crusty room. A group of people working systematically, preferably with music in the background, will. In the dark times, will there also be singing? Yes, there will also be singing about the dark times. Missouri has 2 major cities, and they both look like they are desperately trying to get out of the state. Kansas City, St. Louis. Missouri shares its 2 major cities with neighboring states because Missouri loves company. Get out! This is the kind of cheeky pun I live for. Tell me they wouldn't consider making that the state motto if they heard it. There once was a man trying to make a point about the kitchen. The sink, he said. The sink is the single most important thing in the kitchen. It washes, it provides drinking water, it helps you prepare all of your meals and cleans your dishes for you after. The sink is the most important. However, said a stranger coming through the crowd, you are forgetting about the countertop. It holds everything in the kitchen together. You prepare your food and serve your food on the countertop. Even your precious sink would have nowhere to be if it weren't for the countertop. The man was stunned. He wasn't prepared for a counter-argument. I wrote this joke in a sleep-deprived rage, and it's one of the best pieces of writing I have ever produced. I told this joke to my sister, and she said, I need some time to let that sink in. Hi, OP here. Quick favor, could you high-five your sister for me? Thanks. Writing advice from my uni teachers. If your dialogue feels flat, rewrite the scene pretending the characters cannot at any cost say exactly what they mean. No one says, I'm mad, but they can say it in 100 other ways. Wrote a chapter, but you dislike it? Rewrite it again from memory. That way, you're only remembering the main parts and can fill in extra details. My teacher, who was a playwright, literally writes every single script twice because of this. Don't overuse metaphors, or they lose their potency. Limit yourself. Before you write your novel, write a page of anything from your character's POV so you can get their voice right. Do this for every main character introduced. This is legit good writing advice, especially the first bullet point. In playwriting class, we did a bit where every bit of dialogue had to be an accusatory question, and it was glorious.